It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. Hey, come to my show on Friday, bro. I'ma hire a gun with this shit. Hey, check. Pardon me, godly flow. I run game like Alimo. I'm solid gold. You disappear like Sonic Gold. Who wanna feel the wrath of a madman that'll tap dance past fans to get your ass jammed in a trash can? Murder hero, deserve to be scolded. Verbally dope, certainly the first to revolt. Prefer to repost. I ain't with time wasting. Anything can happen. French was fucking annihilating. I'm building my foundation. Fresh and local, here for the community. Wholehearted statements, everything I say is true to me. Life hard, niggas been drowning without a lifeguard. Water moccasin by far, straight like a python. Arnold Palmer sipping, politicians wanna know my name. I'm young Nolan, locomotive, yeah, my soul is trained. I bust flows like water main, so guard your frame. They see the word freestyle, thinking it's off the brain. Nigga, what's your definition? It won't affect my next decision. This is exhibition, excellence in acquisition. My eloquence is heaven sent with elegant tradition. Your element is medicine, it only fixes the symptoms. Underrated, understated, shit is undebated. Fuck an album, my livelihood is a fundraiser. I keep the 8 like Troy Aikman, I'm so impatient. I'm killing fellow Jedis just to be Darth Vader. Lord save 'em, ain't none of y'all better. Got a chick in my back pocket, ain't none of y'all met her. Cleaning all of the clutter, had my attorneys the better. Hindsight 2020, you're my Bernie vendetta. This shit is masterful, my style is a throwback like a lateral. Haters spectating like Jamie Foxx and Collateral. Any beat you play is compatible, I'm an animal. Going over heads like Jesus speaking in parables. I even the terrible, rhyming like it's hysterical. It's prehistoric, the story is probably scaring you. So pretty, got rep in the whole city. Whoever opposing me will never get close with me.
They're doing a special on Mike Brown, the Ferguson situation. What do you think needs to be changed in the way black men are policed in America?
Leave that up with the critics and the laws and all that old shit. We having fun, we iced out, we having money. That's how we doing it.
So you feel like it's not the artist's place to speak on social issues?
No.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody is doing well out there today. As y'all saw in this opening here, we're going to be talking about Young Thug. Now, if you don't remember that video, that was, I believe, at the BET Awards 2014, fresh off of Mike Brown being unalived in St. Louis by police. They asked him what his thoughts were about how black men were policed in the country and his thoughts about the incident that took place. And he said he'll leave that up to the critics and the politicians and everybody. He really didn't give a fuck. He said, as long as we having money and having fun, we are good. Now we find ourselves here at this moment in 2025. And we're about to have a conversation about Young Thug once again. And I'm going to be honest, it's not going to be a good one. I've been preparing this all week. I told y'all a couple of days ago that I believed Young Thug to be in the Sunken place. And what did he do? He came out and not only confirmed it for me, but he knocked it out the motherfucking park. Okay? That's what Young Thug chose to do. Now, since Young Thug had come home from jail, he's been having one of the worst album rollouts I've ever seen in hip-hop. Even before the leaked calls, even before the string of trash music we heard from him in the last couple of weeks leading up to the album, but just in general, leading up to his release, things were already going bad from there, you know? He was already trying to get the industry to turn against Gunna. It was ineffective. It wasn't working. Although a lot of people in the Atlanta hip-hop scene weren't necessarily working with Gunna, you know, he still had connections with Offset He still had Wheezy making his beats, so he at least had a couple folks in his corner. But for the most part, a lot of folks in the A decided not to work with him, put him on the blacklist. But Gunna was continuing to have success, put out number one albums. And although I am not a huge fan of what it is that Gunna does, he's gone about his career gracefully. He hasn't created a bunch of controversy. He hasn't created any trouble for himself. You know what I'm saying? He focused on his fitness, focused on his personal health, and has pretty much glowed up and created a whole new lane for himself separate of YSL, Young Thug, and any of their counterparts from the past. Young Thug, on the other hand, was sending messages out via people like Lil Baby, Lil Durk, and other Atlanta rappers and street guys, basically saying, we not dealing with no rats. We not getting on no rats albums. We not supporting no rats. And they were sending them out in little snippets and phone calls and stuff like that, basically putting out the bird call to the music industry. Hey, if you fuck with Young Thug, you cannot fuck with Gunna, right? And if you choose to fuck with Gunna, then you cannot fuck with Young Thug, right? So this is the messaging that was coming out prior. Even his father, Big Jeff, was doing interviews coming out and saying, we don't got no beef with Gunna. He was doing his best to keep the peace, to keep the conversation productive when it came to Gunna. And even when he came out and did and said these things, Young Thug would come out and contradict those very words. He's been doing all this anti-snitching, anti-ratting talk for the last few years, gets home, and as he's leading into his album rollout, we get old footage of him with APD in an interrogation room, giving out information, telling them, take my number down if you need more information. We get all these leaked calls of him talking about Future, talking about Gunna, talking about Kendrick, talking about J. Cole, talking about shit. You name him, he said something about him. Glorilla. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Gotti. All these people. So that was a bad omen on him as well, right? That definitely transformed the way that the public was viewing him. So then he tried to scramble and get into PR mode and decided to drop a diss record at Gunna, Yak Gotti, and others. Rollo, I believe it was. Closing argument. Song, Garbage. He proceeds to drop another song called Miss My Dog, apologizing to Drake, apologizing to Future, apologizing to, because he did shit on Drake too, apologizing to Lil Baby, still standing on dissing Gunna though, apologizing to Mariah the Scientist for getting her caught up in the midst of BS, promising some street scraggler that he was going to put a baby in her when he came home outside of their relationship. Just terrible. He goes and does this interview with Big Bank, and he finds himself admitting that he's fucked up and he don't know where to go or what to do. Bank asked him, why you ain't putting out this music? And it was at that very moment that I deduced Young Thug is in the sunken place. Now, everybody, I would assume, has seen the movie Get Out. And I'm not trying to draw too many parallels to the movie Get Out, although there are some, especially with the album cover that he has on this album, UI Scooty, which is depicting him of a white man with the spirit of Young Thug, which is what they were trying to transmute in the movie. I had already come up with the theory before I even seen the motherfucking godforsaken album cover. You know what I'm saying? Because we heard the diss record, we heard the other record. It was garbage. Everything that people liked about Young Thug, the voice, the vocal inflection, the melodies, the interesting punchlines, like, am I supposed to like this punchline or am I not? All of that quirky, cool shit that he used to do that made people be like, wow, I don't think I'm supposed to like this, but I do. Gone. All the charm, everything gone. Right? And he says, I lost my twin. I can't be with none of my homies. He's still heartbroken about Gunna. Although he won't say outright he misses Gunna, because he can't. We see it in his words, his actions, the way he's projecting. He wishes that he could embrace Gunna, work with him, hang with him, still be able to get some of that sauce, because he is a hot dog with no ketchup right now. No sauce. Barbecue ribs with no sweet baby rays. That's what we're dealing with here with Young Thug. He can't live in Atlanta. He can't be around no felons. You know, I'm quite sure his probation has guidelines heavily against him consuming any kind of drugs. And I would put my money on it that the majority, if not all of the music that people actually did like from Young Thug was made completely under the influence in a room full of his homies, felons, rappers, producers, etc., all coming up, brainstorming, coming up with ideas. Try it like this, say that, do this. And him just flying off the handle on perks or whatever his drug of choice was, lean, whatever it is, just throwing shit at the wall. And sometimes it would stick, and it would stick with motherfucking crazy glue, right? But now he doesn't have none of those things working in his favor. He's a man isolated. And now when it's time for you to stand up on your own and show the world what it is that you can do, what you can produce, what you can write, what you can record on your own without any other stimulants working in your favor or to your detriment, we see that you really are not the myth. You can't live up to it. And under normal circumstances, when something like this happens, we would be prone to show sympathy, at bare minimum empathy, empathize with the person. He's going through a rough time. Man, it's fucked up. He can't do none of the stuff that he used to do. Once again, we've got my son crying in the background because he's tired of this shit as well. But typically, we would come out and be like, damn, man, that's fucked up. He's in a bad position. He's out here feeling naked. Dang. Let's support this man and try to get him in a better space. But here he comes out white fishing himself. And then on the intro of his brand new album, on a song called Ninja, right? Album drops last night. We saw the album cover floating around. I thought it was fake. I hoped it was fake. I saw it going on social media. I'm like, this can't be real. This is either AI or fan made. This got to be some bullshit of him white fishing the people. Album comes out. That's really the official album cover. You know what I'm saying? Then on the intro of the song Ninja, he sets the scene of the prosecutor. This is audio footage from the courtroom of the prosecutor basically pleading to the judge to not allow him to have bail or bond to get out. They're basically saying that he was a threat to the witnesses, a threat to the community at large. So I'm like, all right, that's a pretty eerie message to put on the top of your album. Like, I understand, trying to use some clips from the courtroom and stuff. Like, that's what dominated your life for the last few years. You had the state trying to take you down and all of this type of stuff. But an eerie message nonetheless. And then the actual track comes in, right? And he comes in sounding a little bit more motivated than we've heard on some of the other music that he's released leading up to the album. I'm like, oh shit, what's this? You know what I mean? You hear him in a more aggressive tone than I've ever heard him. You know what I'm saying? It's almost a growl that he's doing on this record. But you hear some of the cadences that you're accustomed to hearing. You're hearing some of the bars, some of the punchlines that I mentioned earlier. Like, okay, he's rapping. He sounds motivated. He sounds like he's got something to get off his chest. Like, okay, I've never really seen Young Thug in this mode. I've never seen Young Thug actually like really trying to prove himself as a rapper. And that's how it sounded to me. Like, I got something to prove here. And just as he's getting into his groove, he then goes off on what felt like a 8 to 12 bar tangent of saying nigga with the ER on purpose. He said he called my ops niggers.
My ops, nigger. They better not play with me, nigger. I sleep with the K with me, nigger.
And that was just a piece of it. I mean, he was literally going for about 30 seconds, repeating and spamming it the whole time. And it took me back to that video up top of the Mike Brown situation. He was making light of that, didn't give a fuck about that, had nothing productive to say. And it's like, you know what? We let you get away with that shit. Like, a lot of people didn't like that shit. A lot of people spoke out against Young Thug. It was definitely a topic when it originally happened, but he was able to have a career since then. He was able to actually become a much bigger artist over time ever since that happened. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, it was thought that he had grown, that he had become a better person, become a better man, become, you know, a more productive citizen that at least had a brain on his head, or in his head, I should say. And here we are today, Friday, September 26, 2025. We have a new album of Young Thug depicting himself as a white man on the album cover. I know Rick Ross said that there was an album called White Man Coming, but it was supposedly had been Drake, not Young Thug. He's depicting himself as a white man on the album cover. And on the very first song, it's called Ninja. And now we see why it was called Ninja. Because he's spamming nigga with the hard ER. So now we've reached rage bait territory. He has nothing else going on. He has no real friends in the industry. He has people that portray themselves as friends. People who support him in his actions, who are complicit in what it is that he's doing. Just a few days ago, before the album comes out, he posts a zesty duck lip photo, basically letting people know he's back in that mode again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember Young Thug with the dress and the skirt and talking about the dicks in the studio and stuff like that. So it was like, all right, I guess this is a return to form. You know, we getting back in the zesty mode. He about to get in that mode. So he's doing everything he can to try to gain traction, gain traffic, get people to come listen to the album, rage baiting people into listening to the album. You know what I'm saying? Using the culture as a mockery in order to get people to tune into his album. And it took me back to Young Thug being in the Sunken place. Took me back to Get Out. Took me back to Kanye West. Somebody that we've seen play similar games, similar messaging, trying to flip harmful tropes in order to gain traction and get people to tune in. You know what I'm saying? These are people that, you know, I guess they feel like if I just present myself with my art, it's not good enough. People are not going to care enough. But it probably just means you need to make better art. You probably need to do a better job of communicating yourself in this medium that you get paid to create. But no, that's too much like right. I was originally considering, you know, doing a video reacting to the album on Patreon. I saw a couple folks that were like, I'm looking forward to your review of the Young Thug album a few days ago before all of this shit hit the fan. Absolutely fucking not. We will not be listening to the album. After this video, I will not be mentioning the album. I will not be talking about the album. I will not be giving any further promotion to this album. It's got a star-studded fucking track list. It's got who all is on this motherfucker. I know Cardi B is on that bitch, and you got out-rapped by Cardi B on your shit too. I never imagined a day where Young Thug would get out-rapped by Cardi B. The rapper everybody says she don't write her own shit. She not that good of a rapper. She's this, she's that. She get on a song with Young Thug and body his ass. So there goes that. So you got Ken Carson, you got Cardi B, you got T.I., you got Mariah the Scientist, you got Lil Baby, Sexy Red, YFN Lucci, a nigga you actively beefed with, had street beef with. You went in multiple interviews and said you would kill this man if it weren't for how he took care of his family. A man you had street beef with. Allegedly there were lives lost on both sides of the camps. You know what I'm saying? YFN Lucci lost one of his homeboys to gun violence and literally pushed the man out of his moving vehicle. Y'all both served time in jail. Had RICO investigations largely based around each other's street beefs. Y'all come home and make music together and try to play into the beef by saying fuck each other just days before the album comes out. Y'all dropping your albums on the same day, allegedly trying to compete with each other to perpetuate the beef just to have a collaboration on there, making light of everything that y'all have been through. So I'm not surprised that this man don't care about Mike Brown. I'm not surprised that this man don't care about portraying himself as a white man, doing whiteface, or saying nigga with the hard R for 30 seconds deliberately on an album to rage bait people into listening to it, or doing a song with YFN Lucci. This nigga don't give a fuck about nobody. So no, I will not be reviewing or talking about this album after today. Now there is a subset of people in hip hop that are promoting this album. They're going to do breakdowns of the album. They're going to talk about the album. They're going to promote it on all the social medias. You got Young Thug fan pages that are going to support this shit to no end. And personally, it's not my place to tell anybody what or what not to do, or to tell y'all what to or not to do in terms of tuning into it or feeding into it. I'm just letting y'all know from henceforth, I will not participate in this particular circus. Not here to virtue signal, just speaking how I feel, and I'm going to stand on it. You feel me? Not for me. Just a couple weeks ago, I made a video questioning the future of Atlanta rap. This does not give me further hope for the future of Atlanta rap. And the fact that there's so many Atlanta rappers on this album, I'm wondering, did y'all get to hear the intro, or did he just put that on there recently before y'all really had a chance to hear it? Because let me hear some shit like that, I'm going to say, hey man, I know I said I was going to give you a verse. I can't do it. I ain't going to be able to come through. I'm going to be busy. I just remember I'm being Puerto Rico. We're not going to have internet access over there, you know what I'm saying, in the little town that I'm in. Yeah, man, fuck. I want to do it so bad, bruh. Can I record it on the phone? Now, hell, I ain't going to do it like that, bro. I want to give you the top quality, man. I ain't going to record it through the phone. Fuck wrong with you niggas, man. But I'm going to give y'all the benefit of the doubt that most of y'all motherfuckers on the album didn't hear that particular song and proceed to go forth with it. I'm going to give y'all that for now. So yeah, man, this is where hip hop is at. Or at least a portion or a segment or a subculture within hip hop. This is what people are doing. You know what I mean? It was just last week, DaBaby came out and did that fucking video making a mockery of that young woman that was killed on the subway train. Perhaps he didn't view it as a mockery, but it was. And these guys are so used to being forgiven. That nigga dropped a fucking freestyle 2 days after he got his ass toasted on social media Every time that nigga get in trouble, every time he do some bullshit, he think he could just drop a freestyle and niggas gonna react to it and oh my God. Fuck that shit, man. If you trash, your music is inevitably trash too. I don't give a fuck how good you make it sound. We got to be able to draw a line, or I will draw a line somewhere. I don't know what you or anyone else is gonna do. All right. So that's where I stand with Young Thug. More power to you in the sunken place. I hope you find yourself. I hope you find peace. But I will not be contributing to anything further. All right. Y'all feel free to let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share the video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I could do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy cause consulting for the stacks I built. I had to evolve and grow cause I could have been killed.